who is Dodd-Frank and why did he do all this to me? In 2008, during the collapse of the economy due to the mortgage crisis, mortgage-backed securities fell terrifically because in their wisdom, Wall Street decided that, God, we're selling all these mortgages. We could sell a lot more if we had a lot more mortgages, so they started packaging subprime products in with prime products. And the American dollar was so strong that the whole world was buying our mortgage-backed securities. You know, they were buying them in China, they're buying them in Greece, they're buying them in Spain. Your teachers' pension funds were buying mortgage-backed securities because we thought they were very strong and last forever. Well, by mixing in all these subprime products, it caused the mortgage market, when all these houses started being foreclosed on, to collapse. Thus, Dodd-Frank came along and said, hey, the lending industry is out of control. We're making too many loans. We're making loans to people who cannot qualify. Thus, they invented the QM, the qualified mortgage. What the qualified mortgage says is that the lender is required to prove the ability to repay, And we cannot make stated income loans anymore, you know. We cannot make low doc loans without a lot of work showing the ability to repay. So the times when Don Powell used to go in and just put a mirror under the face and they fogged the mirror, I'd make them a loan, was over with. And I couldn't do that anymore. Wall Street was paying me a commission to originate loans, and if they give me a product that doesn't require me to do anything but, you know, write down their name and fog the mirror, I was going to do that because I got paid a commission. Well, that's all changed. 2008, Dodd-Frank passed. 2010, it all went into effect. So there's a lot of paperwork you got to do now when you go in to make a loan application. In my last 7 minutes, we talked about the credit issues and how to resolve your credit issues. Today, we're going to talk about what paperwork is required to get you qualified for loans. So in the handout I handed you, I'm just going to go down my checklist. I email this to every candidate who calls me and who wants to get a mortgage. I have 2 of them. This one says checklist for purchases. I also have a checklist for refinances. The minute I talk to them, I email it to them or hand it to them if they're in my office. And it gives them the information they need to provide me. There's a lot of paperwork now that just overwhelms you. My job as originator is to make this surgery as painless as possible. It's going to be painful. Let me tell you what. It's going to be painful because of what we have to do now. So my job is to make it as painless as possible, to walk you through all the paperwork and give you the reason for all this paperwork. First thing you see on my checklist is purchase agreement. The first thing I'd like to see is the contract. How much you're purchasing this house for. The contract tells me a lot about the property. It also tells me if the seller's giving you any concessions, paying any of your closing costs. That's really important to know. It tells me any addendums, and it also tells me if there's any functionality in the property that we need to be looking at. Copy the earnest money check. Probably the most painful part of this surgery is proving funds to close. Coming to me, showing me that I have enough money to pay what my portion of the closing costs, my portion of the down payment, and part of that is your earnest money, showing that where that money came from. Next, income and financial information. You know, pay stubs. I want 30 days of pay stubs. If you get paid once a month, all I need is 1 pay stub. If you get paid every week, I need 4 pay stubs. So that gives you an idea of what I'm collecting. The underwriter wants to look at, what did I tell you about? Ability to repay, ability to repay. That's the big Dodd-Frank thing on qualified mortgage. By the way, I mentioned what qualified mortgage is. Qualified mortgage is any mortgage that's not a high interest rate subprime loan. If it is a subprime loan, it goes through under QM, which is a whole different line of items that we have to collect and more disclosures about the interest rate. So most lenders do not do subprime loans anymore. They're not illegal, it's just it takes a lot more in a non-qualified mortgage. Next is tax returns. And if you notice, I put in big bold letters, all schedules of tax returns. On 13 and 14, you have to have all schedules of tax returns. I'm going to need 2 months bank statements. I'm going to need any other form of income that you have, Social Security, other forms of income to look at. If you're self-employed, you're really going to have a real painful, it's where we open your chest up and look at it even deeper. So you're going to have a lot more documents of that. If you're selling a house, if you have a current house, I want to see a current contract on the house. When is it going to close? And when it does close, I'm going to need proof of where those funds came from. In other words, I'll need a copy of the HUD from your closing. Copy of your driver's license to prove who you are. If you're getting a VA loan, I'm going to need a certificate of eligibility to show that you're eligible for any VA benefits. So if you need someone who's going to know 44 years of experience of how to walk a person through making a loan application, you need them, have them call Don Powell at State Bank Mortgage.